Hello, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. Um, yes, I made promises last week, and no, I did not follow through on them because I came down with the flu, as you can still tell by my voice. Um, there will be occasions where I will have to mute myself so I can cough out a lung. Um, we are a man down currently. Not quite sure where he's at. Um, Hopefully he will be joining us before too long. Maybe he just lost track of time. He is still on vacation. So it's hard to say. So we're going to proceed without him and let him be like a floating bubble, a wandering. Well, we can't let him be a wandering rogue. That could be bad. But uh, hopefully he'll be along soon. Um, this weekend, the 25th and 26th, Rhonda will be in Kentucky, um, Frankfurt, and Hebron, right?
Yes, Saturday, Frankfurt. Pop culture event at the Capitol Plaza Hotel, downtown Frankfurt. And Sunday is the Northern Kentucky pop culture event, and it is at the Airport Marriott in Hebron. Or Hebron, depending on who you are and how you pronounce it.
Well, how do they pronounce it?
I don't know. I don't know anybody from there.
Well, okay. I've always grew up calling it Hebron, so I don't know. Anyway, so all right. So if you're in the northern Kentucky area, go check it out, or southwestern Ohio even. Go check it out. Rhonda will be running some games there. Other than that, I'm not sure what else might be coming up. Keep an eye on our website, danddadjokes.com, at our upcoming events, where we will have that updated as frequently as we have events to attend. And if you want to attend that event, we also have links there where you can access their website to purchase tickets and find out more information about the event itself. Uh, you can also find links to our other social medias on this description of this video as well as on our website, so you can check those out too. If you are watching tonight, go ahead and hit subscribe so you can join in the live chat. I know a couple of us watch that. Um, not don't ever watch it unless I absolutely have to because I got too much other things going on. But if you pop in there and you say something, it might take us a minute to catch it, but we will respond. Um, I think that's it, really, honestly. Am I missing anything?
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right. Then let's attempt to recap. 2 weeks ago, um, that I attempted to write a town crier. Like I said, I made promises I did not follow through with. There is no town crier on our website for this week right now. Um, so I'm going to kind of recap what happened a couple of sessions ago. You guys started off in Yashul. You decided that you would head to Key in the morning. And in the morning, Forsyth kind of checked out the town while Evangeline checked out the cards. She noticed another card was finished, the throne card, and the void card had changed. She then begins to arrange the cards they have to see that the backs are beginning to form an image. She noticed that there were about 7 holes left in this image. The image is the wooded area that has a purple hue to it, which she believes is mostly just the Ostrin woods that have that purple hue, which she had heard some rumors that people who go in usually come out crazy. Not really sure why. After some time, you guys contact Fune and inform her that you would like to speak with her. In contacting Fune, she responded that she can be back in 24 hours. Of course, you did not confirm where. She did not disclose where. So you may or may not run into her in 24 hours. All of the group then travel to Key and instantly notice that Philaethus is indeed missing, but no mention of this is to the staff. Instead, you sent staff out on errands, and you guys decide to go ahead and head toward the Pope. When you arrive to the Pope, you find that Kilmog is looking over yet another card. He informs you that of the changes that he has seen on this card. He believes when he first saw it, there was a large drake on it, and now it has changed. He tells you that he believed because of the drakes that it had something to do with the Angolan Knights, so he did reach out to his contact, Trevor, and who is also known as the Hand of Truth. Trevor shared that the Knights had been pushing their boundaries of late and has been set off to beyond the steadfast. Castilian, the Grand Knight, was beginning to lose the confidence of some of the Angolan Knights. Angolan Knights. Oh my gosh, I can't, I can't even. The group then goes to the Sanctuary of the Eye upon Trevor's return of the teleportation circle for Cadet and meet Trevor there. They meet the Grand Knight under a guise of being representatives of the Order of Truth on business. However, the conversation quickly turns and the Grand Knight is quickly killed. Evangeline makes up a nice ruse, tells a story, takes some actions to make their story plausible, and when the knights return, well, when Trevor returns to the room, his own two guards who had been left in the room confirms that this is truth, and they are this is accepted as truth by the Lord Knight Justin. We did give him a name. His name was Justin. Lord Knight Justin. And you were informed that the Lord Knights will confer and vote upon a new Grand Knight. And while waiting, you contact Gavian. Let Gavian know that the final scout that has been held in Yashul should not return home. Um, Basically, because the Lord Knight said if he's stubborn, we have no use for him. Um, Attempting to kind of purge what's left of those who are loyal to the previous Grand Knight. And that is where we left off last week. So, you are. Go ahead. Right. You got 24 hours that morning. So, next morning, there was no destination given. No no destination asked for or given. But she said she'd return in 24. It was sending. Yeah, Evangeline had to send it because she was in another plane, or at least outside of this one, beyond the reach of this one. Yeah. And after a little bit of time, there's lots of noise and whatnot going on outside of this chamber. Um, Eventually, Trevor comes back in. The two guards that were with you from the beginning have never left. They're still there. When Trevor leaves, they stay. When Trevor returns, he converses with them briefly and then, does other things. But they stay. They are there as your escorts in essence. Um, Trevor eventually does come in and does offer apologies that this is that you were caught up in this, playing the charade, and offers you a place of respite for the evening here at the sanctuary, or if you wish, escort back to the teleportation circle where you can be on your way. There is no further need of your services since we have witnesses in my guards. Unless, of course, you need to do business with the Angolan Knights, in which case you have to wait for a new Grand Knight to procure that. That is, and Gulen Knight secrets. I don't know that it would be accepted if we passed on that information. Very well. You make a valid point. Very well. Allow me a moment to procure that. And he will disappear again for a bit. Is there anything you guys wish to discuss in front of the two guards that are left there? Or telepathically. I mean, you guys could do this telepathically. They are of a decent rank. They travel with. You have already been told they travel with Trevor consistently. They are part of his company, and Trevor trusts them with his life. They are skilled. They are of rank. I don't know. Jimothy. Wait, we already have a Jim in Stroldux Manor, I think. Um, oh. Cameron. Cameron. You mean actually hold conversation? I have not seen any in my time. Um, through training, we have been told there is a rare I would almost say albino, but since the drakes are white, it would be born black. But on occasion, a black drake could be born. It's extremely rare, and they usually have closer bloodline to the dragons of old than the white drakes do. It's like a recessive gene. Yes. I mean, if we could keep a black drake around long enough and breed a black drake intentionally, perhaps they would be born more regularly, but typically the black drakes they disappear. I assume they fly off of their own accord in
because
search
they're
of other things.
intelligent.
Well, I mean, who wants to be stuck on the cliffside for their entire lives? Nobody.
I was gonna say, except for you lot.
Oh, I'm not here my entire life. I mean, this might be home base, but I am out on missions with Trevor most often. So I don't live my life on the cliffside. Quite possibly. The thought had never occurred to me. Of course, I've never met a black drake. But have you met a black drake? Secrets. I can respect that. It's probably better that, we don't know.
Not according to Brian May.
What makes the world go round?
Fat bottom girls make the world go round. And he's a physicist. He should know.
You gotta pick up while your dad's not here.
Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's gotta. Oh, goodness. Well, perhaps I'll be lucky enough to meet a black drake one day. Very well. After a brief amount of time, Trevor will return. He does have. It's like a set of documents that have been bound together, just kind of folded and bound together with a leather covering. It's not a full-fledged like published book or anything, but he does have a set of documents, and he hands them to you, Fix. But he doesn't let go right away. He says, "I trust, given the secrets that we keep, that you will hold true, and this will stay only within here and your family." And he'll let it go. Well, I have no intention on betraying you. Well, I guess that would be good. I mean, that's true. So, so are you leaving this evening, or okay?
No.
I'm not sure if you tried to unmute or if you muted.
Oh,
Oh,
I said no.
okay.
Sorry.
I heard the creakle, and I wasn't sure if you just muted yourself and said
I'm
no.
muting a lot
you were
because I'm
backwards.
coughing a lot.
So, I hear that one. Um, very well. Come, I'll take you back to the teleportation circle. And he'll lead you back to the teleportation circle. And do you know where you're going, or I mean, I can get you to the Dirk Hall. Well,
The
Dirk Hall is in Key. Back to Kilmuck, the Amber Pope. He's like, he does not have a direct. I don't have a direct teleportation circle to the Amber Pope, which I assume is where you came from.
Yes, but back to the Dirk Hall and Key is fine.
Very well. And he'll fill in where the Dirk Hall is. He'll say, "Give my regards to Durnet the Sixth. And next time you come calling for a grand night, it will probably be Justin." As do I. And he will see you off. Teleportation will light up. You kind of get sucked through it, and you show up at the Dirk Hall. startling a poor young page.
It builds character.
Right? And the oh yeah, this is the second time you're going. I need constitution checks.
Huh.
Con checks, right? Not saves.
Yes, checks. Or save, actually.
Yeah,
I don't care.
19.
You can use a save.
I was gonna say there's a big difference for me.
The 1 point difference. I get a 20.
You got a 20? All right.
I got a natural 20. Unnatural. Dirty 20. Yeah. It's a difference between a +2 and a +7 for me.
Mine was a supernatural 20.
Supernatural
A
20.
supernatural 20.
Hopefully
There was
it's not your only one.
divine intervention there.
All right. You guys get through and you come out on the other side and you kind of teeter just a little bit and you're like, okay, I can do this. You're getting used to that teleportation feeling. Still a little rough to do it more than once a day, but you manage. You're in the Dirk Hall. The poor page stands up and kind of bows a little bit and says, "Priestess," and just nods and lets the way open to you because
Yep.
there ain't no reason to call an escort or escort you herself.
Afterthought, I will stop and turn around and look at him and go, thank you very much. Back to your duties. I'm not very good at these things.
And you guys walk on out. As you were.
As you were. As you like it.
As you like it. As you wish.
Well,
oh, okay. All right. You head out. I'm assuming you're heading back to the Trenson estate, unless you want to go someplace else. No? Okay. You did ask Jennifer to check in on some things, yes. Some feather tokens or winged boots. Yep. You head back to the estate, and
the smile arrow driver was a little lost. Oh.
Yeah. So you went back to the Trenson estate.
That's
you come in.
Oh.
The Jennifers are preparing the house, and you walk in. It's early evening. There's smell of dinner. At the house itself, there's a smell of dinner, and you hear the sounds of the house, but it doesn't seem like very many. Well, probably none of your family are actually currently here.
Not even Dad?
Not even Dad.
He never leaves.
I know. Nobody seems to be here except for the servants.
Not even Philonis here. Talking about leaving the estate like unprotected.
This is skeletal crew here going on. There is dinner, and
Jennifer ranks.
You walk in, and as you walk in, you notice that one of the Jennifers is gonna just disappear, kind of, and you soon start to hear dishes and things like that. They were not setting a table because they didn't know
where everybody was
set a table for. But you do start to hear the dishes and things like that being set out and prepared for dinner at the table. Um, as you guys, you get your stuff, you drop it off, you head to the dining room. As you sit down to the dining room, you will see the one you sent off for on the errand come in with a small bag, and she'll kind of bow to you a little bit and say, Lord Kofik, he had 3 feather tokens, but he is going to look into procuring possibly some winged boots.
Thanks.
He was unsure. He is just now beginning his search um, and research to see if he himself might be able to enchant a pair. Um, he's hoping to find one instead of have to actually enchant it. That could take longer. Absolutely. And she will drop off the extra coinage and stuff too and disappear. She walks out. Oh, and she will say, Thank you, my lord, and walk on out. Not your brother. You are muted, Rhonda.
I said he's moving up in the world. That's because I asked for a cup of tea, and all of a sudden Rick turned into Phil.
Oh. so, um, so the feather tokens are there. You guys eat. You finish your meal. You go off, relax, study in the room, pull out your forge. I don't know. What do you guys do for the evening? What do you wish to do for the evening? You have a mound of paperwork that you can start organizing. Okay. This is very true. So you will reach out to Zybella. What is everybody else doing?
I will spend time recording all that has happened and everything in the book. And I'm going to check on the nanites and see how the nanites are doing, because there's probably 7,000 of them falling out of the bag.
Well, they can't crawl out of their own accord, unfortunately.
Pushing them back in. And I'm going to pull out my ink and
Okay.
I'm going to draw.
Okay. Kadeth?
I will
Go ahead.
draw on regular parchment, not in the book,
Not in the book, but with your special ink.
but with my special ink.
Okay. Kadeth?
And key.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go check in. First, check in with I can't remember his name. At the temple here.
I think Meryl is at the temple here.
Yeah. Wait. Well, maybe
or it might be Cedric.
whoever it is. But I'll go check in with them.
All right.
And actually, before I go, I'll shoot a quick message off through, since it's been a while since I've checked in with Erwin. I'll shoot a quick message off using my sending stone. Just 25 word summary of what we've done recently.
We done stuff. It'll be like,
Killed this guy, this person in charge.
yeah, basically.
Killed this guy, this person in charge.
Yep.
Kingdoms being controlled by people we like.
People we like. All right.
But then after that, I'll go over to the temple and check in there, see how things are going here.
Okay. All right. Well, you check in with Erwin, and Erwin quickly responds, thank you for the update. It is good to hear from you. I have returned to Ephraimon for a time, and then I intend to head back to Thrice, unless needed. That's basically his reply message.
Okay.
You check in with Cybella, and you hear a soft sigh on Cybella's side. She says, "It's been a while. I
She thought you moved on.
was concerned."
I thought you left me.
No. She wasn't too concerned about that. Well, it obviously took some. So, very well. No, all is well here. Um, is all well for you? You'll start to do that lazy late night lay on the phone and just happen to reread the same paragraph. All right. Is there anything in specific you wanted to talk to Cybella about, or is this just your romantic check-in like a Gavian here?
Joe, you're not coming through on the feed.
Oh no! Oh no!
So Jody's having a one-sided conversation.
I'm always having a one-sided conversation. Ooh, that's all right. We'll just, it's fine. If you can you fix it? That's the question. Okay.
I just popped over there and just to listen for a minute, and I was like,
Yep. All right. Now, how about now?
Can you hear me now? Oh.
Yeah, it'll come through in a moment. About, I think, 10 to 30 seconds.
Something like that. It's a pretty good little delay. Yep.
All right,
Okay.
we're good. Okay, so quick recap. Fix got a manuscript of how to fly those drakes. He talked about drakes with the guard, and then they came back. He got the stuff, the tokens, gave them to Evangeline. Now he's talking to Zybella, and I think that's where we're at.
Yep.
That's a good summary.
Yeah, that was a good catch for,
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of, on break going, yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah. Sorry, folks.
All right. So is this just a romantic check-in, or is there something in specific you wish to talk to Cybella about?
Romantic check-in, and also trying to figure out when they can actually get together again.
Okay.
Because, well, he's getting a little bit of jealous of Evangeline getting to see Gabian so often.
Not fair.
Well, you can talk to her whenever you want.
Uh, whenever the circlet's not being in use,
And
yes.
used for somebody else. Yep. I get 25 words once a day.
25 words of a whole lot of nothing. Um, saying things
We
without
don't
actually
need
saying
words.
things. Yeah, no, she will whisper sweet nothings right back to you, Fix, and she'll say pretty things are quiet in Ephraimon.
I may have to find a way up there soon.
So, but she'll contemplate and fantasize on dates and locations with you. Um, Evangeline,
Yes.
you pull out your ink and a piece of parchment, and you put your ink to paper, and you start to draw. As you are drawing, you begin to draw what looks like an old cabin. You're thinking it's an old cabin. Looks like an old cabin. Close enough to an old cabin. Um, and as you're looking at this old cabin, um, you can kind of see the fireplace, the hearth. It's like a two-room cabin. You know, there's the main living area, and then there's a room off to the side that you assume is probably a bedroom. Um, the main living area has shelves for cookware and the hearth, and of course there's like a is it a spit that's kind of over the fireplace area where you can hang, kettles, things like that. You do see a small table kind of off to the corner, but kind of the central part of this picture is an old rocking chair. You see the rocking chair, it's a wooden rocking chair. You do see like a quilt of sorts hanging over kind of the back side of it. Um, there looks to be a basket maybe next to the rocking chair with some other fabrics and stuff in there. Um, probably things to be darned, fixed, whatever. Um, is sitting next to the rocking chair, and you're drawing it, and you kind of get to the point where you stop drawing and you just kind of start watching. After a moment, you're kind of looking at it. The light does not seem to be flickering. So there's like, if it's coming to life, the light's not flickering. But it does look like there's fire in the fireplace, but the light's not flickering. But as you kind of watch, you start to see the rocking chair move.
Is the light not flickering because, in essence, it's daylight? And so you don't see a fire light flicker really in the daylight.
Kind of looking at the picture, no, it doesn't seem to be daylight. Matter of fact, it seems to be about the same time as you're drawing, like mid-evening, maybe, just after dinner time.
I'm going to concentrate on the rocking chair. To see if I see any evidence of what is causing it to rock.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation.
All right. With a 10 on the die, that's a 25.
Jeez, Pete. As you're looking at the rocking chair, you kind of feel yourself falling forward just a bit. And you notice with your investigation, you don't see anything physically rocking this rocking chair. There's nobody sitting in it. There's no animals near it. There's no nothing like that. But with that 25 investigation, as you kind of feel yourself falling forward just a little bit, oddly enough, you also don't feel any kind of air movement. There is no air movement.
Interesting. I will say in my interesting,
Interesting.
so that everybody can actually hear that I'm looking at something interesting.
What is the? I'm trying to figure out if Fix would actually register that.
You are welcome to roll a perception if you would like, or just go by your passive. Let's go by your passive. What's your
Yeah,
passive
I think it would be
perception?
passive perception, which is not great. I'm pulling it up right now.
You know what?
Passive perception. Well, actually, it's not horrible. It's a 17.
Okay, you probably hear something like, okay, that's Evangeline. She probably said something, but it wasn't screamed at you by any means. So it wasn't like, hey, pay attention, like, so
She
you're
probably
not,
found something in a book.
yeah, could have been.
It would, I think that it would be almost for Evangeline, it would be like just passive in her head. She's going interesting and not even thinking about keeping it from the group.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So he's going to continue his conversation with
Which you're
Cybella.
kind of used to.
Yeah. If it's important, she'll say
She's-
something more.
She's in her head again.
Who knows? Kadeth, when you hear this, you've probably just arrived to the temple. You hear Evangeline kind of say that in your head, and you could respond, or it could be just Evangeline not turning it off again, or who knows? It's up to you how you wish to respond.
I'm just not gonna respond. Just if she needs to tell me something, she'll tell me.
She'll get my attention. Okay.
Because I would move to investigating or looking at the fire,
Okay.
giving that I'm not seeing any flickering from it.
Okay. All right. As you turn to look at the fire, there is a fire there. It is giving off light, but it is how you've drawn it. It doesn't seem to be coming to life like
Okay.
the rocking chair did.
Interesting.
You all of a sudden, both of you will hear this. And for you, Evangeline, I'll need a concentration check, which is Constitution.
What do we hear?
What's your number?
11.
Okay, because you are actively like
I'm
engaged in this
actively
picture.
engaged. Yeah.
But Fix, you don't need to do this because you're not. Though you're actively engaged with Zybella, if something happened at the house, you would turn your attention. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, what's going on? You hear, and Evangeline, you register that there was some kind of noise, but you're kind of used to servants running about the house, taking care of things, so it doesn't pull you out unless you want to come out. You hear a crash and a scream, a startled scream, not like a bloody murder scream, just a startled scream, like something unexpected happened. and it was quick. It's very quick. It wasn't an extended scream at all. Um, but there is definitely a crash and something big has shattered. Probably upstairs, Fix.
I will head that way, making sure to lock the office
All right.
before I head up,
Um,
and redo all the protections, all that stuff.
all right. You take care of that, and as you're kind of heading up the stairs, you see a Jennifer in front of you, kind of turning the corner to go down the hall. You see a couple more kind of coming out of the dining room, and seeing that you're headed up there, and so they kind of stop and it's okay. You're gonna look into this. You'll call if you need us. Um, and you head down the hall, and when you get to the hall, you see that they ducked into your parents' room, and as you walk kind of into the parents' room, you see a huge what what used to be a mirror, the frame of a mirror on a standing. It's their full length mirror, standing. But all of the glass from the mirror is just shattered across the floor, and you see the two Jennifers kind of talking to one another and like starting to try to like clean it up and whatnot.
Better tell me what happened.
Uh, uh, the one Jennifer stands up and she says, I'm sorry, my lord. I was dusting and cleaning, and something caught my eye out the window. And when I turned around, I hit the mirror, and it just shattered."
What caught your eye?
I don't know. When I looked, there was nothing. Like I turned to look, and I didn't see anything, and then the mirror shattered, and well, my focus was drawn again.
Leave the mirror and its pieces there.
Uh,
I'll fix it later.
Very well.
I'll go and I'll look at out the window.
She'll gather herself and head out with the other Jennifer.
Casting true sight as I do.
Okay. You walk to the window, and you kind of pull back the drapes, and you take a look. In your true sight, you see a figure coming out of probably the back portion of the property, walking across the garden. Um, Dark, like hooded, dark figure, and it's dark outside, so it's kind of looks very shadowy, honestly. Walking kind of toward the estate in no rush.
Does this window open?
It does.
I will open the window and I'll look down and I'll say, "Were you invited into my home?"
She'll she'll stop. She'll look up at you. You see, Fune.
Hmm.
You said you wanted to talk, so I assume yes.
You also said 24 hours. You're a little early.
I said
In fact,
within
you're
24 hours. I'm about 8 hours early. Okay.
7
Okay,
hours and
maybe.
56 minutes.
Okay. Sure.
Well, you owe me a mirror, but go ahead and come in. I'll meet you downstairs.
I owe. Okay. Just keep walking. Just whatever. I'm not arguing.
I'll close the door. I'll close the window, and over the link, let everyone know that Pune has arrived. Unfashionably early. Then I'll head downstairs.
All right. Kenneth, you've made it in. You've made it into the um into your order. You've greeted, I'm going to say it's Meryl. I don't know for sure, but we're going to pretend it's Meryl that's there. You've walked in, greeted Meryl. Meryl is happy to see you and is happy to hear all the accounts of your travels and anything new you wish to share about what you have discovered, um, about anything. I don't remember the last time you actually checked into a physical location.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So I'll basically just, share all the things that we've done, happened upon, whatnot.
All right. He will definitely invite you to refreshments, I don't know, have a drink with him and just to sit and catch up and whatnot. Um, After a little bit of time, uh, one of the pages will come in to give Meryl some things, and they'll stop and they'll kind of look at you a little startled, and they'll stutter a little bit, and they'll kind of give you a bow. Master Cadet, it is good to see you here.
I'll just nod.
They'll,
Did you have something for me?
no, I just didn't expect you to be here.
Is there somewhere you would expected me to be?
You just haven't come in here for some time. I assumed you went back to Thrice.
Well, sometimes I get busy with things, but I'm here now.
Are you going to be in town for a while?
I may.
We would really love it if you would come in to weapons class.
I see. If I have time, I will.
Excellent. We will see you then, Master Cadet.
Very well.
They'll skirl out real fast. Meryl at this point is chuckling.
Oh, don't you start. You're just lucky they don't do that to you.
They're used to me.
Yeah. I wish they were used to me a little more.
Come around more often.
Well, I have responsibilities.
Don't we all? Unfortunately, some of us have responsibilities that keep us here.
Whereas some have responsibilities that prevent us from being able to be here.
Such is our roles.
True.
And he'll drink. Then you hear Kadeth kind of coming in, or not Kadeth, you are Kadeth. You hear Fix come in and say, hey, Fune's here.
And it appears duty calls once again.
Ah, yes. Well, if you have time, of course, you are welcome to come and show these students a little bit of sword work.
If I have some time, I'll try to make the time.
Very well. Have a good evening.
You too.
And you head back to the Trenson estate. As you get downstairs, Fix, You will see Fune standing in the foyer, waiting.
I'll smile. Welcome.
It's better to be invited in than drug in, I suppose.
Enjoy your
Next,
time. Well, don't know where you were, but not on this plane. I'm assuming the shadow plane or the shadow fell.
you
I
know,
forgot.
yeah, the shadow fell. I attempted to go there.
Not welcome anymore.
I could not get through. I was blocked. But yes, I've been several other places. Not even sure that they're all fully other planes.
To explain.
Uh, I've met you a couple of times now.
Oh, how did you stumble upon that?
Well, I think the first one was, well, I don't think, I know. The first one was an accident. I was being stupid and I tripped and I fell, but I fell a lot further than I should have. It was very weird. It was like instead of the, 5 foot it should have taken me to hit the ground. Yeah, I landed pretty hard, about 15 feet down a cliff. It was rather
That sounds
painful.
painful. Yeah.
Yeah. And lo and behold, guess who I found at the bottom of the cliff?
My charming alter self.
No, but you wish. I actually found your brother. The broody one, the tall broody one, Brumon.
Oh,
I found him.
I'm sorry.
Of course, tall, broody. Of course, he felt the need to assist me, and of course, that's when I met you. When he brought me home.
Hmm.
That was interesting. You were not the same. Definitely not the same. Whole lot less intimidating.
How so?
Well, you were definitely more, shop boy than, I don't know what you call it, warrior priest. I don't know. You've got the symbol of God. You must serve.
Hmm. So it seems that paths diverged differently.
Indeed. Um, Stumbling upon this, of course, I decided to do some investigation, so I've been to several.
And what have you found?
I have found that there is no version of me in any of them, which is
Except for
very
this one.
interesting. Except for this one, I assume is my home one. I don't know which one I maybe came from, or maybe I didn't come from any, and the whole sister of Gera is more of a lie than I thought. But that also brought me to search out Gera in a few of these, and I have only found her one other place.
Hmm. And was she the same?
She was not. She was as I remember her many, many, many years ago. Which tells me she's probably going to be corrupted there too. But I don't know.
Did you interfere with her path?
Oh, heavens no. I don't exist there. Why would I interfere? I mean, if I had existed, I might have found it rather fun to play a few tricks.
And did you just hop back and forth and left the rifts as they were?
Well, yeah, I have no way of closing them. Some of them seemed fairly unstable and would close on their own, I'm sure, but there's a couple that were pretty consistent.
Would you have closed them had you been able to?
I don't know, to be fair. I mean, they exist for a reason. If I start closing rifts, am I going to do more damage than good? Or leaving them open? Have I? Never mind, let's not. Although the thought does sound like fun.
I guess the question leads down to why they are there. Are they a natural occurrence of something, or did somebody cause them?
You know, I have no idea.
From these others, did you attempt to get into the Shadowfell from there?
A couple of times. I was always blocked.
Interesting.
I had hoped, which just kind of confirmed that, my non existence on most of these planes, I suppose. I'm beginning to think I don't really belong here either.
And as I'm having this conversation, I'm transmitting the whole thing back to the others. I think that's a question for an Evangeline.
I'm working my way to you, anyways.
Yeah. Evangeline, did,
What was the question?
did you even come down?
Oh, I would have, yeah. I would have.
Okay. All right.
Initially, when the crash happened, I would have scanned the drawing to see if something happened there. If nothing changed on the drawing when Fix said Fune was here, I would have.
Okay. You would
I
have
would
come
have
down.
come down.
Okay. You would be at the bottom of the stairs by the time Fix asked you about that.
I look over. I'm assuming that she walks down as soon as I said, right around when I'm saying that'd be a question for Evangeline. I look over to Evangeline. Any light you can shed upon Fune's existence or creation here? And over the link, I'll tell her, reveal to her what you feel appropriate.
Uh,
Because if I remember correctly, Evangeline saw her being something with her in the Shadow Fell as a infant.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to help me through this, but it was a tree. Oh no.
That
That
was
was
through the shadow of the city of
no.
boats.
Yeah, no.
That
What
we
I'm
went
thinking
through.
of was the dragon's betrothed.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah. You're gonna have to help me refresh my memory.
She carried. Gara was carrying something through the Yagaril. It was Yagaril.
Yes, she took a baby.
Mm-hmm.
The baby
To the Shadowfell.
To the Shadowfell, and came back with something covered.
Mm-hmm. And you saw the exchange. You saw the shadow go into
her.
Into her, yeah.
She wasn't always what she is now. I will tell her, you were not always what you have become now.
What would I have been?
Normal. I guess as normal as you can be
As
around here.
normal as one can be. I mean, I feel pretty normal now, although I guess you're not supposed to be able to, melt into shadows. And she kind of just lets one hand go and it kind of falls like shadow. And then she pulls it back up.
I will just
Suppose
tell her
that's not normal.
I saw the shadow enter you when Gara took you to what I am assuming is the entry to the Shadowfell.
Interesting. Gara told me that she took me to the Shadowfell to save my life. Being that I don't exist in these other places where I have met you a couple of times, and Kadeth, you're walking through the door about right now, and she kind of turns. She's like, I don't think I've met him in other dimensions yet. And I don't think I would even know. She points to wherever Forsyth's at. She's like, I don't even know if I would meet him. Being that I don't exist in these other places, I'm not sure that what she told me was accurate.
Do you know how old you are?
How old I physically am, or how old have I existed?
How long have you existed?
I have existed for centuries.
From what we can tell, for ages.
Yes.
Yes. If the one thing that I do believe Gara was correct on was when she took me to the Shadowfell, and she did so through Yagaril before it was destroyed,
Before it was destroyed.
which would put me at
Could
least the second age.
around there. Could it be that you do not exist now, but perhaps you were born in a time of ages past and as an infant did perish in these other realms? Or just died of natural causes? As well, living for ages is not typically
Yeah,
something that happens.
I do not believe I will die from old age. Being I don't think I've aged beyond about 21. Um, the thought did not cross my mind because I looked for Gara. And when I found Gara and another one, I was not with her, so I just assumed
Hmm.
that I would be wherever Gara was.
What would allow Gira to live so long?
I believe Gara actually used the magic of ancient magic of the pictures, moving pictures. I think she was able to find a picture of a future and brought it to the past, or had it painted in the past with the ancient magics and had them connected in some manner where she could easily move between the future and the past. I never moved with her.
Hmm.
perhaps in her some form of her logic, taking you and allowing the shadow to enter you. She did that to preserve your life, at least in this realm, so that you would be with her.
I mean, I suppose that would be logical.
Was she still having these paintings created before her run-in with us?
She had 4 created. Only 4 to my knowledge. 2 for future, 2 for past. They were
Oh,
connected, 2 and 2. I know for sure that one of them was of the Castle Aventur um, prior to its destruction.
and the other was to a ball.
Perhaps.
No, it was.
Oh, you know.
I will
Where
say over the link to, should we tell her we were there after going through the picture? The night of the castle's destruction.
Any particular reason your sister would have the painting to Castle Aventure made the night it was destroyed?
I don't know. I've just always been told it was prior to its destruction. I did not know when prior or how far prior. The fact that it happened the night of the destruction, I can only assume that was not on purpose.
Have you seen the picture?
I have not. I've seen none of these pictures.
Would you like to?
I mean, if you have them, you have them.
It is how we know that the painting was mere hours before its destruction. In fact, he'll rattle off the exact time before its destruction. Joe doesn't remember.
Fix will remember to the second.
Yes.
And we only have the 2, right?
Yeah, you only have the 2.
But
And they're
the
both
2 is
to the
all there are.
past.
So we have the entire collection because the other 2 are to the future. So I'm guessing these 2 are the 2 that are connected, and that makes the 4.
uh,
These ones and then their counterparts.
their counterparts, yeah.
Okay.
Their counterparts are in the past. At least that's what you believe.
Yeah. Because both of these go
To the
back in
past.
time. And we come out, and the 2 that we entered back in time move forward to this future.
Yeah. Actually, no.
No,
No,
actually, you
we
did
didn't.
not go through them.
No, we didn't go through them to the present. There
You
was
was
a rift of magic
A rift
in
of
which we came
magic.
back.
in which you
So
came
we
back.
don't know where the ones going to the future are. We don't know even
Or
what
what
future they go
future it
to.
was.
Yeah. Do you know where the 2 to the future are?
I, she has shown me none of them. I can only assume the ones to the future are probably in the castle somewhere.
Well,
I
that's
have not.
underway. But
That's okay. It's like I've not been home.
Probably good that you don't. I will show you them, but I need your word that you will not traverse through them.
Very well. I mean, if it's merely hours before the castle's destruction, then I don't think I want to return to that one either. Or anyway, I know not of the other one.
All right. I
Although a
will.
ball does sound fun. I'm not dressed appropriately though.
Actually, we did see the one to the future in the ball.
I feel like you did see one to the
We
future.
did. We
I
did.
can't
It was
remember what
Yeah.
it looked like, but I believe
In
that you did.
the couple that are in there, we were in their bedroom in
yeah,
whatever
and
that's called.
it is a picture to the future of their bedroom.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But they couldn't travel through it. You couldn't travel through it. You could just see
You could
into
just
the
see it.
future.
Into the future.
Yeah, that's. But I don't know if that's the same type of painting since you couldn't travel through that
That's
one.
true. Maybe not. I was like, I do
Maybe
remember you seeing one.
maybe
Because
partially.
when you looked into it, you could see us in the bedroom, right?
Right. And then to confirm it, I carved into the
floor.
ground.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So yeah, I will reach into my bag of holding, and I will pull them out one at a time and show her, being prepared to stop her if she tries to enter.
Okay. Um, which one do you pull out first?
Probably the one to the ball to get her used to the idea before exposing her to the one to her home.
Okay. You pull out the one to the ball and you set it up. My gosh, I gotta remember names. It's right here. It's not Baruvus. That was Gara's last name. Baca. Lord and Lady
Yes.
Baca.
Baca.
She will she will it will you'll pull it out and you'll start to see them move on the painting. And she kind of tilts her head and she looks really close. And she gets real quizzical. Like, that is Lord and Lady Baca.
It is. They're lovely people.
Why would she paint something? Why would she paint something to, uh, oh shoot, what is the name of that city? Looking for it. I'm looking for it.
Oh.
You know, Siamum.
Yeah.
So why would she?
I have it right here.
Why would she have something painted to Siamum?
Your guess is as good as mine. Actually, yours is probably better.
What happened in Siamum?
You lived through it.
Yeah, I'm ages old. Do you think I remember the second age?
I know that Evangeline, over the link, Evangeline, do you remember what you found in your book about CMM?
If I could look it up.
As Rhonda scurries through her notes.
Siamum.
Do you have an episode?
It is possible. I know that you encountered this painting and information about Lord and Lady Baca in session 60 because that's where I got the names. Um, she will say, I know Gara was fascinated with the destruction of Siamum. because it was different. Most of the other cities that were destroyed, um, they just their ruins stayed where they were destroyed. Siamum was different. Siamum scattered. And I'm not sure what caused Siamum to scatter, and that is the only reason I can think of that she would paint something to Siamum. We were not closely related or knew very well Lord and Lady Baca. They were very kind people.
Can you tell me, was your sister always unkind? I'm asking this genuinely.
I mean, she took care of me.
But to others?
She always,
Did she always collect spines?
that. No, that started much later.
Was it after she received the spine that she wore?
No, it was before that. She got very angry at somebody once. She was never easy to get along with. She did get very angry once, and it was at Castle Aventur, and she had his spine ripped out. She had a little bit of a sadistic glee about it, and decided that that was the fate her enemies were going to have. So, yeah, then she started. I would say that started probably, I don't know, fourth age, maybe, maybe fifth. The last spine she successfully procured was of a young lord and nope, of a young lady in Bedrove.
No, of a farmer.
Oh yes, that one.
An innocent farmer that had done her no wrong.
Yes,
To send a
forgot about
message to
him.
me.
That's true. That is fair. She tried to procure your sisters. Something from
Tried.
she was prevented from doing that.
By
She
what?
tried. She tried to procure your brothers as well.
He
Not
got away by the skin of his teeth.
yeah, not sure what prevented her from being able to procure her spine. Your brother, she was definitely well on her way to procuring his spine when he disappeared, which I did find rather humorous, but of course I, I did not laugh at the time. She'd probably turned around and tried to rip out mine. Of course, she'd had only gotten shadow.
I wonder what stopped her.
I'm not
Did she
sure.
try and was able, or did she change her mind?
Well, now that is a possibility that she changed her mind. It was shortly thereafter that Darling was given her. She may
By
have changed
whom?
her mind. By Gera, of course. Gara had kept Darling for quite some time.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said I thought you meant your sister received Darling
Oh
soon
no,
after.
no. No, it was she was going to procure her spine and then stopped. I assumed she was prevented in some manner. She showed quite a bit of frustration, but it is possible that she changed her mind. That is when she gave Darling to your sister, of course. She had other
Or
means.
was instructed to not do so.
Uh, she never let on she was given instructions by anybody, except for possibly Bashaba, but Bashaba likes chaos. She doesn't. She would have been perfectly fine with the spine being ripped out.
Unless Bashaba takes orders from somebody else.
I mean, we all take orders from somebody, right?
No.
You mean if your God did not tell you to do something, you would not listen?
Not if I didn't want to.
Well, that doesn't mean you don't take orders. It just means you like the orders you're given.
But I have the spine to say no if need be.
Ha ha ha. I caught that.
I literally have the spine.
Just pull it out of the bag.
Are you prepared to see the next one?
I mean, I can only assume it is of home.
It is. I'm
Go
trying to be
ahead.
kind by asking you.
Yes, I'm ready. I don't think I have ties to that place anymore.
I'll set up the second one then.
Okay. You set up the second one, and you do see kind of a distant look cross over her eyes for a minute. That was the night that it was destroyed. It was not long. It was not long after I had returned with Gara. Wonder what made her choose that night.
You know when she created it.
I know that she started looking into it probably during the Third Age. When they actually got created, I am not sure. She started cutting me out of those plans.
Well, this is all very confusing, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff for me. Is it do you think she would have caused the destruction? Or
Of the
traded its
castle.
destruction for something?
Oh, Trada's destruction, most definitely. She was ruthless.
Did anyone die in that destruction of import?
Yes. Both of our parents died in that destruction.
Question.
Yes.
In looking into the past,
Hmm.
we saw the destruction of the, or I saw the destruction of the castle.
Yeah, you saw it firsthand.
Yeah, we
And
Darn near firsthand.
I saw after or at some point, nope, it was at some point between the destruction or after, I don't know. At one point, I saw Gara looking over a bed with a baby in it.
Yes, that was after the No, that was before the destruction.
Before the destruction.
Hmm.
And after I saw her let her brother drown.
Yes.
At any point after the destruction or around the destruction, did we see Fune alive?
You saw at one point, you believe was the fourth age?
At the grave?
Maybe the third age. At the grave. She was in hand, walking hand in hand
Speculation.
of their parents. And then you saw
What
her later when they were renovating the castle to make it look like the original
she
castle.
said, Fune said she was an infant. Does she? Do you remember
I
your
remember much.
sister taking you to the shadow? You were but an infant. Do you remember the actual destruction of the castle, or do you just remember the stories?
I remember the chaos of the destruction of the castle. I remember being found. What was added to it, I should not have memories of that age, I'm sure. But what was added to it from Gara's story is that I was found in the wing that was destroyed, being protected by Mother. I just remember being found.
Fix, you ask about why this particular night.
Hmm.
What if shortly after being found, Fune actually died? Maybe she created the picture to go back and get her and take her prior to, for whatever reason, prior to and her death.
Did this happen before or after her
She,
um,
I will look at
baptismal by shadow?
Baptismal by shadow.
Fune and say, do you remember being taken over by the shadow?
I do not.
If you remember being found, do you know if the shadow was in you at that point?
I mean, as far as I can remember, I've always had the shadow.
It's interesting.
I've always been able to do these things.
It's interesting that you remember things and not other things, and at such an early age.
Well, I mean, the memories are not clear.
I believe that in these other realms of existence, you do not find yourself because in those realms of existence, you did not exist.
Perhaps that means something happened in this realm specifically?
Is there a way for you to be able to receive my memories?
Me?
Yes.
Mm,
Do you have any telepathic abilities?
no.
I have any way to do that.
24 hours, we could.
How long does it take us to attune to the necklaces?
That would require
Um,
her and be inducted into the organization.
yeah.
Okay.
And of the level for the necklaces.
Yeah.
That would be inner circle stuff.
Right.
And it did not take you, I mean, average attunement type. Actually, I don't think you even had to technically attune to them.
I don't. I
Nope.
didn't. That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember for sure. And I
Because you
don't
bled
have
on them.
Yep. It
any
is a
kind
blood
of
connection.
illusion.
It is a blood bond.
I am going to try something here.
Yes.
I am going to take a parchment and my ink, and I'm going to draw. I am going to draw a picture of what I remember me seeing of Gara taking her to the Shadowfell.
Okay. You're going to begin drawing that.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, we're going to take a break because I need to run to the restroom. And I really
Unacceptable.
need to cough. Like, I need to cough. I'm holding it back.
She needs to clear her
I've
throat.
been doing that the whole time.
And we'll be back in 10.
Transition. There we go. 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
All right, welcome back. And sorry that took so long, but we are back now. And we are speaking with Fune, and Evangeline is getting ready to draw a picture of what you saw the night or when you looked in for when Gara took Fune to the Shadowfell. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Are you drawing with your special ink?
Yes.
Okay.
And
I'm
I'm
gonna need some
drawing.
more of that special ink.
Yes, I am.
You start drawing with the special ink, and
Evangeline, if you want, I can create a minor illusion of the scene, if you prefer.
That's true. That
So you
might
don't have to waste
even
your
be
ink.
better. I don't know. Either way.
you guys decide.
We can try the illusion first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you make a minor illusion that shows Gara carrying a bundle into Yagaril and down into the deeper part of the city. She seems to come out into the Shadowfell, and not far into the Shadowfell, you're met with a shadowy figure, where some words are exchanged that you're not really sure what they are because you didn't hear that. And the shadow kind of goes in to what looks like to be an infant in her arms
And
and just envelops the infant. Go ahead.
I'm like creating these series of images because it's essentially a still image.
Oh, it's a still image.
Oh yeah.
I
But
forgot.
I'm just recast. It's a cantrip. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just recasting it over and over
All
to.
right. To kind of give that stop motion.
Yes.
Okay. and so and you see the shadow enveloping the infant, and after a little bit of time, um, the cloth is just kind of wrapped over the infant, and she walks back out of Yagaril and away. That's
And
basically
that's what I saw.
that is basically what you saw. And Fune just kind of watches. She's like, that is what Gara told me happened. I mean, it seems to portray what I was told.
Do you know the name of the entity that cohabitated within you?
I mean,
The one you expelled?
it was some reach of the Dark Lord, the Vilsharun, of the Dark God. I mean, he himself did not dwell within me,
But a piece of him did.
but a piece of him did.
Over the link. Sort of like the pieces that we carry.
We just won't mention those.
No. That may be why you were verboten from the Shadowfell, since that is his realm. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, this is true.
And it would make sense that a god's reach would span throughout these rifts. Oh, so you're aware. We took care of King Humi. Why did you want him taken care of?
Well, I mean, he influenced my sister in some manners or in some matters.
How could
That
such a
was,
low life influence your sister?
well, influence used loosely. He gave her ideas.
Such
And,
as?
well, ideas on court matters, influence on court matters. I realized King Humi was in White Lake, but his influence through Gara affected a lot of stuff in Weirfall, um, affected a lot of stuff in Midden. Hold on, I have to zoom in on that one because it's in my way. Mulen, Mulen, Mulen. It's the capital of Iskabul. Also, um, the decision which caused her to take the young lady's spine in Bedrove was also his. I I didn't like the man. I felt he had too much of my sister's ear.
Interesting that such a unfit ruler would actually have your sister's ear.
Well, they had similar depraved ideas about how to handle certain matters.
Well, they will both have come to the same end.
Yes. Well, that is good. That is one less person to deal with.
In your message, you only indicated the one
Well, I indicated one. I didn't know how much you would go digging.
We're digging now.
Well, there's a few others. Reneo being one of them, but you seem hell-bent on keeping him downstairs.
Isn't it much more fun this way?
Well, I don't know. Perhaps.
He cannot tell a lie.
He worships the god of deceit and can never tell a lie.
I do like that. The other is, or another, although you would not have picked it up from here, would be Lady Harak. Although she
She's
hasn't,
on our naughty list too.
well then, it works for me. You'll get to her eventually, perhaps. Stroldek has also been in bed with my sister, but he seems somehow to always come out on top. Not quite sure
He
how
is a,
he does it.
he is a slippery one, isn't he?
He is. He is
He
less on
se-
my list.
he seems very cooperative.
He will cooperate as he sees it fit for him. If he sees everything about to fall apart or crap hit the fan, he will quickly turn tail or work it to his advantage. Hence why he always came out on top.
As expected. Cooperation does not mean trust.
You learned that very quick when you were around my sister. Although her two companions were loyal almost to a fault.
One is apprehended, the other to be dealt with.
Which one was apprehended?
One that cannot teleport.
Oh, of course, Devakri. Also slippery. Ashuto will turn tail when his eyes stop clouding with his overwhelming need for my sister. Devakri, on the other hand, has probably got somebody else to corrupt already. Just warning you.
Well, I look forward to the day we meet again.
And you may. Or you may not. It's hard to say.
It depends on whose bad side he gets on between now and then.
Basically. The only one that's ever dealt with my sister on occasion for many a year until the night his services were won was Philathus.
Services were won. Do explain.
It was a game of chance, I would say. I still think he cheated. But if he did, we can't figure it out. A young man by the name of, oh shoot, that is not the name. I am looking at weird pages.
Well, you did change the page to look at something else.
I did. A young man by the name of Rodithus, leader of the Jagged Dream at the time, played my mother in a, not my mother, my sister, Gara, in a game of chance, dice. She lost every time. Yet she felt the need to offer up Philathus in service for another chance, which of course she lost still. Philathus went along with it, of course. It's actually kind of a good sport. As far as
What
I
were
know,
the
he's been serving the Jagged Dream ever since.
what were the terms of this service?
Um, Basically that he would provide whatever services that Rodithus and his successors, if it should come to that length, um, that they should require until such a time that Lyra should require his services instead, or have greater need of them. Of course, on Lyra's terms.
over the link. I told you he couldn't be trusted.
As far as I know, he's still servicing the jagged dream. She kind of glances to where Phalathus is, because as far as I know, you guys are still standing pretty much in the lobby or at the stairs. She glances to where Phalathus should be.
Tell me more of this jagged dream.
What is it that you don't already know?
Tell me everything that you know. And would that be a performance or a deception? Because he's not lying, but he's not wanting to let on that he knows. Because he has not. No one has informed her, though she may believe or have figured it out.
True, there may not be any confirmation, but she does have a pretty strong suspicion.
The jagged dream just doesn't go around making a public service announcement that their leader has changed.
Right. But she was part of the act of attempting to kill your mother, so. But you don't know that either. Um, you could give me either one, actually. You can do a persuasion, a deception, or a performance, because you're kind of giving. You're not really lying.
Mhm.
You're just trying to give the air of, I need more information. Like, I don't have the information that I want to have. It's, even though you already have a lot of the information.
I will use persuasion. That's a 27.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Um, she kind of gives you a very quizzical look. The Jagged Dream started out as a band of just cutthroats that found that their town was far too pristine, making their job far too hard. They got hired on by several people to find black market items and various other things that could create an underbelly of a city, which cities thrive on, actually. And that's where they started. But they grew, and they grew rapidly and had a large network, at least until into the fifth age. The fifth age, they kind of suffered many losses through wars and other natural disasters and various such things. It took them some time to build back up to where they are now. Through the years, of course, if somebody wanted to take over the Jagged Dream or didn't like the current leadership, they literally killed them and just took them over. It was succession by death. And then she looks at you. Until recent.
Do you know who? Do you know
What?
who currently owns this favor? Affiliate this?
Well, currently it resides in this household.
Hmm.
It was your mother.
My mother
Was.
still lives. You said it is
That's,
succession by death.
well, that's why I said until recently.
Why has this ever been heard of before?
No, this is the first time. I find it rather fascinating. I didn't think it could be transferred willfully.
What makes you think it can be?
Because your mother still lives.
What makes you think my
She.
mother was the this leader?
We had our resources.
Did you have proof?
We had our proof.
Or just the word of some tortured underling?
No tortured underlings. It's hard to rip
Opportunistic underling.
hard to rip out the spine of those that are spineless. Um, we knew it was attempted to pass it on to Gara. Did not succeed, but it was passed on. As far as we could tell. Could only be a handful of people.
Who could that be?
Oh, let's see. How many brothers and sisters do you have? And we knew it was not Gara. We also know it was not Bruman. Can't for the life of me think of her actually giving it off to Gavian.
He's got bigger things to do.
He is his own drummer.
So Lily has been gone. She was not here when my mother was attacked, or any time since then.
It's
My
true, she has
youngest,
been gone some time.
I don't see her handing off to the brother whose name I can't remember,
Dolren,
Dolren.
your closest
If
sibling.
if if she was this, do they have a title?
Why? Probably.
Hmm. Well, I was sent away as a child, so I had nothing to do with anything of that sort.
Which would precisely make you the perfect candidate. Just saying.
The one child of hers has nothing to do with the underbelly of the world. No.
Yeah. Especially if Gara was after it.
Hmm.
She would want to pass it off to the least likely.
But I was the one that Gira was after, so that would put that straight in her path.
Perhaps, but she would not realize. And she
He
was
can
after you for other things.
I was nothing but kind to your sister until she made me not be.
I mean, that's fair, but I did get rather joy when you would annoy the crap out of her. It, it did bring me joy. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm glad I could use the gifts of the youngest to bring you joy then. He kind of smirks. I guess we'll never know what happened to this line of succession you speak of.
Yes, I'm sure. Although I will let you know that I do know who Philaethus serves.
Oh, and who is that?
That would be you,
Oh, and how do you know that?
because he's the one that helped me back through the rift.
Hmm. How and why?
I was somewhere near Siamum. in another dimension, of course. And when I got your message, and the closest rift was the heart of Siamam. So I went there, and I found a familiar friend. He helped pull me through.
What was he doing there?
He said he was doing something on your behest without your request. Something tells me he likes you.
Kind of like a huh? That, and then kind of get a smirk of I'm glad I was nice to him type look.
Whoo, dodge that bullet.
Yeah. So then I guess the question at this point is I suppose the kinder way to put it, the request at this point is that you keep that knowledge to yourself.
Oh, I have no reason to share it. I start spouting knowledge on the jagged dream, and who knows where I'll end up. They'll start questioning me about other things than the jagged dream.
Hmm.
I just as leave that not happen.
What other things?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the fact that my whole body can melt into shadow.
Oh,
How
those
many
sorts of
people
things.
do you know how can do that? I know one.
A couple. Well, not necessarily shadow, but melt into things and yeah.
Not only that, I can become a target for all kinds of people wanting to do untoward things. I mean, that's what I did for Gara.
Hmm. Look to Evangeline. Do you have any questions before I ask my final question?
I do not think so.
Kadath?
No.
Two questions.
Knew one was too good to be true.
Hmm. Where do you plan on going now? Or what do you plan on doing now?
Honestly, I was going to try to explore some more rifts. See what else I could find. Find them quite fascinating how different everybody is in each of the dimensions. Yet
We have been
still the same.
warned to be careful that our presence and knowledge within these places can create issues.
I can definitely see how they could. If I told the one Gara that I found about the Gara that I actually grew up with, it could totally change her path. I see the same potential. Scary almost. But I wouldn't dare. I am the only me. Nobody knows me in any other dimension. The people
Hmm.
who might recognize me here know me as Lady Gara's maidservant. I mean, you can't even find me in their heraldry. I was too young when the accident happened. I was not added.
Does that bother you? I'm sorry, it will be 3 questions then.
In all fairness, no, I don't think it does. The Baruvis line should probably just die with Gara.
I can ensure that. Now my
So you,
final
I
question.
will look at her quizzically. You have no desire to take your place in the lineage of your own family?
no, much of what you've brought up speaks quite true. I probably was not meant to survive.
At that, I will sit down on the floor and arrange all of my trinkets around me.
She will look at you very quizzically.
Don't worry, she does this at times.
Okay.
And I will begin the ritual casting of commune.
Ooh.
And that takes what, 10 minutes to cast as a
It
ritual?
takes
10
10
minutes, yeah.
minutes.
So while she's preparing that, and so that she's conscious of it in case she wants to slap fix, he'll look at Funay and say, "You obviously know who I am,
Oh, yes.
and you know the organization.
Oh, yes.
Trust between us is shaky at best, but
That is fair.
trust isn't exactly high on the list of things when you are surrounded by scoundrels and underbelly. But loyalty, well, we can work on that. Would you be interested in joining?"
The jagged dream. Thought never crossed my mind in all these years.
As you said, you are the only one that can do the things you can do, and well, talents like that can be useful.
Yes, they can.
And I promise to not ask you to do things as your sister did, or require you to do things.
That would be my only stipulation.
Any request would
Anything.
be just that, a request.
It would be good to have people to call on if I am in need. If I have the autonomy to say no in anything, I will join.
You will have the autonomy to say no. I may try to convince you, but I won't make you, he says with a smile.
Very well.
I'll reach into my bag and pull out one of the new ones that I've made and pull it out and squeeze it until it breaks skin. And then I will instruct her to do the same.
She will grab it. She will squeeze it. It takes a little bit longer for her to squeeze it and make it break skin. Sometimes you think it might just go through her hand. But eventually it does break skin, and she does bleed upon it.
And I assume I get the notification pop up.
Yes, you get the ding.
New follower added.
Chuck, you're just on point tonight.
Oh my goodness. You are casting, you cast commune while you're listening to this going on. Like, okay.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Okay.
Your organization. um, who are you communing with? You're communing with the near, right? Because it's through the book.
Yeah, the
Okay.
commune is with the near. When I
Okay.
talk to Severus, I usually just talk to him.
You usually just talk to him. That's true. Sometimes he doesn't make sense. All right. So you get all your stuff laid out, and you get your book opened, and you get this wave of almost solitude, the smell of a library. You know, you get that feeling of being surrounded by knowledge. Home.
The first thing I'm going to ask is, did Fune die after the destruction of the castle as an infant?
You get a very odd sensation of like turning a page, and you get a very affirmative. It's very clear. And then all of a sudden, you're turning the page again, and it's unclear.
Can she be trusted? That's more like a, can she even be trusted in any way, any form? Can she be trusted?
Can she be trusted? You when you're kind of looking at the book, it kind of flutters a little bit. You kind of get the sense where you're reading it, and you see kind of a almost conjoined hands, a friendship kind of thing, not like mates, but friendship. This more so now.
Does she have an appointed place? A divinely appointed place.
You see kind of the pages flutter a little bit, and they seem to be all blank.
I'll smile.
And the It'll all kind of flutter. The book will, and you come back.
I'll gather up my stuff, put it away, all with the exception of the orb. And I will walk over to Fune and I will place my hand on the jagged dream emblem.
Yeah.
The emblem. And I will look at her and say, you write your story now. Make it a good one.
Give you a quizzical look and kind of give you a nod. I mean, it's kind of what I'm doing. Well, I mean, starting with my history, I think, but
your pages are blank. They're not tainted. They're not written. You are free. Trust in the one who has put his trust in you.
she kind of glances over at Fix. I'm here, aren't I?
You've been here before.
Yes, but
And
not invited.
Yes, not invited. And with tainted pages.
Well, you know. Sometimes you got to just let them drip dry.
Yeah. I'm going to take the orb. I'm just holding it.
Okay.
Then I'm going to call out to Severus.
Okay.
Because he is fate.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask him, do these other realms have influence on our realm? Using realm in a relative term to, I don't know what to call these other dimensions.
Timelines.
Timelines.
Severus will respond. They can.
We should keep them separate, if possible. Closing all rifts.
All timelines end the same.
Very well. And that's all I have to say.
Well, that's that.
That's that.
Well, I have come late. Next time I'll be sure to show up in 24 hours.
Well, you can ask my friends. I'm a bit of a stickler for time.
Oh, don't
Yes,
get
well.
him started.
Yes. well, I will be heading out now.
Do you have a place to stay?
I mean, same place as I always stay, to the shadows. That's where I stay.
If you would like, I can have one of the Jennifers make you up a room for the night.
Very well. I'll take you up on that offer.
I'll smile and I'll get the attention of the Jennifer. Please make us our guest a room.
Jennifer kind of looks at her, looks at you, and very well. And heads off to the kind of back around the corner underneath the stairs, kind of where your friends stayed the first night they came.
I have a different room
basically,
now.
yeah, that's basically the guest quarters. It's right back in there. She will make up a room, and she will show Finney the room. And is there anything else you wish to do for the evening?
I will share the picture with the party.
What is it of? Sorry, I'm blanking.
Cabin.
Oh,
a
the
two-room cabin.
Do I recognize it?
Rocking chair.
It has a rocking chair, which is focal in the picture.
Uh,
And that rocks. And a
So-
fire that emits light but has no flicker.
No, you do not recognize the cabin. Although, Kadeth, you're looking at it.
Uh-huh.
You kind of, you're pretty sure that that looks somewhat familiar to the cabin that Erwin had taken you to when you were younger. At times when you felt a little too much in the city. I mean, you are half giant after all.
Hmm.
It does remind you of that. Might
Reminds
not
me
be
of it, but
exact.
not necessarily the same for sure, but
Right,
could be.
but could be.
looking at the rest of the picture, is there anything else that's like? Do we see the trees?
You do not. This is the inside of the cabin.
Any
However,
pictures? Any oddities that are identifiable?
now that you're kind of looking at it, you do see what looks to be like some kind of clock. And it's held at the 1 o'clock hour. Which doesn't really make sense with the lighting of the picture either. You're like, this is kind of weird. But as you also look at it,
1 o'clock would be 1 a.m.
could be 1 a.m.
As we also look at it, what?
But as you also look at it, you notice some a little like bowl with a tiny spoon. It looks overturned on the table, and there's some granules that's kind of falling out of the overturned bowl.
Do I
A
know where
salt
that
bowl?
cabin was?
A what? A what bowl?
I said like a salt bowl.
Like a salt bowl. Do you know where that cabin was? Yes, it was outside of Thrice. I think it was south of Thrice. I'll have to look at the map.
Was it far from the city?
Maybe half day's journey. When you would go out there, you would go out there for some time, a week or so, and then you'd come home or you'd come back to Thrice. Not south of Thrice, north of Thrice.
So toward
West of Thrice, to be precise.
west?
Yeah, northwest. West, northwest. It was more west than north. Because you didn't cross the river, you just went near it.
But it may or may not be the same cabin.
May not be. There's a few oddities about it, like the fire. You don't quite remember the fireplace looking like that. But then you were young when you last went there. Maybe you don't remember it correctly. Or maybe this is just a similar cabin in the area. But there's definitely similarities. You remember Erwin having a rocking chair.
I'm gonna look at Evangeline. What can you tell me about this cabin that's not in the picture?
Thinking back on it, the only thing you can remember is like a feeling of comfort and security, or feeling the loss of that comfort and security. Like there was comfort and security associated with it, but that is gone.
And when I looked at it before, the lighting in the room, I asked about, maybe I don't see a flicker because
Right.
of the time of day.
It
You
was
said it was about the time of day that we were in, and it's evening time,
evening time. Yep.
not 1 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
I share that, of course.
As we've been looking at it, it's been a couple minutes. Has the clock moved at all?
It has not.
Is the rocking chair rocking?
It is.
Does it look like it is the rocking of an unoccupied rocking chair, or somebody is rocking it?
It looks like somebody is rocking it. Like it is steady rocking all night long.
Mm.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. It is steadily rocking. It's not like somebody got up and walked away, so it's it's
Right.
not that kind of rocking. It's steady.
And it's a gentle rocking, like a mother rocking a baby.
Right.
Kadath, can you scry on this place?
I might be able to do better. I might know where it is. Without going, I can't think of a way to confirm that.
Well,
But it has a certain familiarity.
well, I can attempt to teleport us there.
I could do that too.
Oh, I thought you needed a circle.
Oh, I know. That's true. I need a circle. Never mind.
Yeah, there is no
So-
circle in this cabin.
There's no circle here. So I mean, we could try. It's about half day's walk from Thrice,
Hmm.
so we could just go to Thrice and ride horses out there.
That would
'Cause we
take
do
us.
actually have horses in Thrice.
That would take us half a day.
True.
You can't always teleport everywhere.
But you can try.
I'm pretty sure the little cabin in the woods probably doesn't have a teleportation circle.
No, it does not.
But I don't need a teleportation circle.
He can just teleport. And he can do it based on the picture. Who knows if you'll end up at that cabin or some other strange cabin.
It'll take us
Yeah.
to that cabin,
Where it might take you 3 days.
but it might not take us to the cabin next to Thrice.
And actually, going to Thrice would be nice, anyways. It would be nice to check in at the temple there.
You know what? I think it was Cedric in Key.
I think it was.
Because I think it's Meryl still in Thrice. And Rowlett is out in Yashul right
Yeah.
now.
Rowlett was the one we called in to Key at one point.
So it'd be more like a day and a half.
Possibly.
It might take a day or two, yeah. But we could go right now, essentially.
I'm going to take the crystal ball and I'm going to focus in on Kadath.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep a thought on the cabin. And I'm going to see if I can confirm. I'm going to the past, not the future. But I am going to try to direct the movements of this
Okay.
orb to go to
A specific past.
a specific part of Kadath's past.
Okay. Roll me a. I don't know. Let's go with intelligence check. You're just happy I didn't say wisdom.
I am.
I know you.
That is a 14,
Okay.
just
With-
for a straight check.
All right. With a 14, you focus in on the orb and you kind of listen to the heartbeats a little bit. You find Kadeth's and you start to kind of trace it a little bit to try to get to his past. And you've traced heartbeats like this before. You kind of know how to navigate that. And you begin to trace his heartbeat as far back as you can possibly get it after the ritual, because you've been there. You saw that.
Yeah.
This is later. You see a young Goliath child standing next to an older gnomish man. They're the same size. And you see this Goliath child just like leaning on just about every word that comes out of this gnomish man's mouth as they walk through fields. And just traveling. And you can tell that this child is happy being where he's at. And they come upon a cabin. You see the cabin. They go inside. It's very small. 2 rooms. It's a 2-room cabin. looks very similar. There's a hearth, there's a rocking chair, there's a table kind of shoved off into the corner. There's some shelves for some utensils, cooking utensils, and cabinets for supplies and food stores and things like that. Um, you see the young Goliath helping the man whom you assume is Kadeth and Irwin. And you see Kadeth helping him gather what he needs to cook, to prepare a meal. And it kind of just flashes little visions. They eat, whatnot. And then you see Irwin kind of sitting in a chair, and he's rocking, and he looks to be working on, darning some stockings or whatnot. Um, and they look big enough to swallow him, so you assume it's probably for Kadeth. And and he's talking, and Kadeth seems to be kind of poking the fire and listening to him talk. Um, this cabin looks very, very similar to what you drew as you're watching this interaction. Um, it kind of spats some images. You see the Goliath grow, and before long, the Goliath really just doesn't. It's uncomfortable for him to be in the cabin. The cabin is small. The cabin is designed for a gnome, um, and and so it becomes uncomfortable for Kadeth to be at the cabin, and eventually they stop going. So, and the cabin, you, kind of the last thing you see Irwin kind of shutting the door, kind of sighing a little bit, and they walk away, and with a Kadeth that's much bigger than Irwin at this point.
Okay.
And you're pretty sure that was probably the last visit, and you probably figure Kadeth was maybe early teens, if not maybe 11
Okay.
or so.
As I pull from the orb, I think we should go to the cabin that Kadath remembers. I'm not sure why I drew it. Because it doesn't look like it's been used in a long time. Possibly. Or
Just what you were doing when you drew it. Were you asking about something or?
I was just drawing.
Oh, okay, just drawing.
Just
Gotcha.
drawing.
Well,
But in the orb, it looks like maybe possibly the last time you were down, that you and Irwin were at that cabin, you were around 11, maybe 12.
sounds about right.
Maybe a little bit older, but the cabin was getting much too small for you.
Sounds about right.
The cabin was getting much too small for him. Then teleporting into it now would probably not be a good idea.
Would not be a good idea.
No, that's
Yes, please.
another reason to maybe take the long way around.
Head to Thrice. Go to Thrice and maybe head out towards the cabin. By a more normal way of moving about for ordinary people.
I think it'd be nice to take the long way for once.
I'm never gonna go see Isabella, am I? Okay, fine. We'll take the long way.
Well, I'll tell you what, you could have Gavian pick her up on his way back to me. Then we
To
can both
be
be happy.
to be fair,
That
Thrice
bell is
is
overrated.
close.
Yeah.
Thrice is closer to Badanou than Key is.
Yep. You're getting closer.
Just on the wrong side of the mountain still.
I mean, as a matter of fact, I think we're both getting closer.
You know what? What time do we want to leave since we're taking the normal route? Normal people leave in the morning.
Well, I didn't say we'll take the normal route to get to Thrice.
We
Just
can teleport to Thrice.
yeah, which we can do that easy. We just go over to the temple real quick and
We could go to the temple. We can go
Temple
hop,
to
skip, and a
to
jump.
the
and
Dakal. We
straight-
can just go.
I mean, I could get us there.
Yeah, temple to temple is easy peasy. And they have people at the temples to do it. Like you don't have to use a
We don't have
spell
to use
slot
our own
even.
spells. So I'm ready to go whenever.
So we go there. About what time is it now? It's early evening?
It's getting later evening. It's probably, I don't know, 8, 9 o'clock.
Okay, so we go to Thrice, and then we'll leave from Thrice in the morning to this place.
Sure.
Unless you want to travel through the night, I suppose.
Oh, the morning would be great.
Morning would be good. It would give me time in the temple.
Fix is going, I still have a teleport.
Okay. For the third time in one day, let's teleport to Thrice.
Fix will be doing it a fourth time.
Oh,
Well, that's her fault.
Or you guys go to Thrice. I'll meet you there in the morning.
Exactly.
I mean, if you want to wait until morning to go, that's fine.
Yes, I will meet you in Thrice in the morning.
But I think I would like to go there tonight and converse and commune with my friends and my colleagues and mentors.
Absolutely. And I would like to go and converse and commune myself.
Yeah, but you've done that multiple times recently. Relatively. More often than I get to.
That's
All right.
fine. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying I'm going to go do it as well.
Okay, you do that.
All right. So,
so
Split the party.
Yay!
and Lisa,
Kadath is going to Thrice, and Fix is going to go to the forest.
Fix is going to go to the forest. I am assuming, Evangeline, are you going to go with Kadeth to Thrice? Forsyth will go to Thrice with Kadeth because
Yeah.
he will go and commune with Kosha probably. Because Kosha's in Thrice.
Okay, I'll go with Fix.
You're going to go with
You
Fix
don't
to
have
Ephremont?
to, but you can.
I will go to.
I mean, Fix will be safe in Ephremont.
That's true.
He does have the city's ruler.
But I don't have anybody in Thrice anymore.
That's true. Your family is no longer there. But you can commune in the Orders of Balance's library.
Well, there's an order of truth in Thrice too.
That's true. There is.
So I'll go to Thrice. You better be careful, Fix. Have somebody watch your six. But I'll give you privacy.
Much appreciated.
Your six will be
He-
watched.
He taps his armor. Don't worry, I have protection.
Not inside. Bella has her way. All right.
Don't take that armor off for anything.
That I can't promise you.
It'll take 10 minutes to don it again.
No, it doesn't take that long to don an apron.
Oh, that's true. I forgot it changes to an apron. All right. So for the evening, you guys are skipping out of the Trenson household for the evening, leaving the Jennifers yet again to watch over Renio and now watch over Fune.
And what will Falatheus do when he gets back? Because isn't she in the do not enter list?
Well, she supposedly was.
She
But
entered
somehow
already.
she always got through. Now you're beginning to understand possibly why. Because she was kind of
As-
tight with Francis.
As I'm going to get my things and everything, I will contact Filet at this.
You rang.
I hear thanks are in order for a favor that I did not request.
Yes. I told you I had errands to run that would be beneficial to you.
Much appreciated. She has joined us.
How did you manage that?
I asked.
Well, she is in a new place in her life.
I find offering people companionship and freedom where they knew only servitude is the best way to do things.
It is an effective way.
So thank you.
You are welcome.
She is staying in the estate for the night, in case you return.
That is good to know.
And then with that, we'll bid him adieu and get my stuff and vamoose.
Vamos. All right, roll me your constitution.
Better roll well on this, otherwise it's going to be a wasted night.
You will be sick.
What is that?
Hey, there's healers in town.
Right. That's a 22.
Okay, that's a good roll. Yeah, you get a little queasy. You're going okay. Three might be pushing it, but we got this. And you meet Zybella. She's very happy and receives you openly. And you have a wonderful evening with her. The other three of you head over to Thrice. Forsyth will quickly disappear. Oh, this is also your third time traveling. Roll me your constitution. Eventually might be spending the night sick too.
I rolled a 16.
Oh, okay. Well, not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah,
18.
okay. You do okay. 3 times pushing it, but you managed to hold it together. So you're able to do whatever you'd like in Thrice. Maybe visit the library. Kadeth can check in with the order, check in with Meryl, commune, and do what he wants to do. Forsyth will quickly disappear and say, "See you in the morning." He will search out probably Kosha, who is in town. And this is where we're going to leave tonight's episode because we did stay on a little later. Wanted to get you over that hump of where do we want to go next. So, so we are separated. The party is separated, but only for the evening. And this is where we're going to stop. Do what?
We hope.
You hope, yeah. So, all right. Well, that is where we're going to end tonight. And we thank you for joining us and sticking with us through this whole thing. And it's a shame Senior couldn't join us. He out on vacation, doing things. And so he will be back with us next week, I'm sure. And be sure to check our website events. I am going to try to put the town crier from a couple of sessions ago on there soon. And hopefully the town crier for this session also on there before next week. Fingers crossed. And so keep an eye on that. And also be sure to like, share, subscribe, and check out our other social medias if you'd like. I don't know that there's anything else that I need to say. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. Just
All right.
just continue to keep an eye out. So
Yep. Yeah, you will start to see some changes maybe to our website and whatnot. We're going to reorganize and prep for next campaign. So just keep an eye out for that. Although next campaign might be another 2 months still. We'll see. We'll see where this goes.
it's coming though.
Can't herd cats, so sometimes you just have to follow them. So anyway, that's it. I guess we'll see you next week.
See you
Bye,
next
all.
week, folks.